Check. Hey, guys. There is a change in the program. Just if anyone is looking at it, this is not the terp talk. This is retail marijuana. And so I'm just going to be going into that. And so I apologize if you guys are that. That is actually going to be at 2:30 and those kind of things. So I'm going to give people a second to do whatever they're going to do. So my name is Vaughn. I'm with Dank's Wonder Emporium. We are a recreational and medical marijuana retailer in Washington State. I actually flew up for the expo. And the reason I come here is just to say, hey, there are going to be some changes coming on. The guy before me talked all about the legal side, said what he thinks is going to actually happen. I obviously have a little bit different viewpoint of, because I've lived it for 5 years, of going from medical, having multiple locations, and then making the conversion over into recreational. So we're in 2 states, Washington and Oregon, and the U.S. has a lot of different laws than you guys do. You guys do some things very, very good. We've gone through the kind of the forefront edge and had a lot of pain, and so that's kind of what I want to come here and talk to you guys about is, hey, there are going to be a lot of changes. Get ready for a bumpy ride, but it's okay if we stay together as an industry and work collaboratively together and kind of help the government along, we're going to get through this. So what I bring is a practitioner in the retail space. I got into the medical marijuana industry in 2010, 2011 on the grow side, just like this expo. A lot of it is for the growers. Okay, sitting there bringing our medical marijuana to what we had as collectives. You guys can call them dispensaries. We didn't have a mail system like you guys do up here. So we would grow it, we would bring it there, and then people would come in. They would make donations. There was no sales. It was all donation-based. So we did that for a couple years. Then we opened up our first shop in the city, a small, tiny podunk town, tiny compared to Edmonton, called the City of Pacific. And 5 days after we opened up, they showed up and said, hey, we're going to arrest everybody on the premises if you don't shut down in 5 days. We sued the city. We sued all the cities around us. That's kind of, if you guys can't tell, I got a little bit of energy, and I like to kind of go at people. So we decided to say, hey, we have rights. We voted this. This is what we wanted, and you as our politicians can't take it away. So we fought for local access. Then we opened up our second location in another city. They had a very good attorney. They shut us down. That was our second location. Then we got a location in Puyallup, Spanaway, and the city of Tacoma. I'm assuming these towns you have never heard about, okay? So, but I come from having 4 locations, and a lot of things change if you're on the retail side, going from 1 location, maybe 2 locations, upwards, okay? And that's one of the big things I want to talk about. I'm going to have and give you guys an opportunity to ask questions. And the big question is what changes when you go from 1 location? If your dream is to have 1 retail location, open it up, sit there, be behind the counter, helping patients every day, awesome, okay? You are my best friend. We'll get totally along. Let's go out and get a drink or smoke some weed. So the thing is things are going to change, and competition's really going to come. Already in Canada, you guys have public companies for marijuana having hundreds of $millions behind them, and they are buying other companies and consolidation. This industry is very, very young, and consolidation is already happening. About 10 days ago, a Canadian public company bought the largest retail chain and producer-processor in Oregon, Washington. $35 million purchase. And it's not even legal up here yet. Okay, guys? So we're talking real money and real competition. A lot of people out here and a lot of people coming to these expos, we're just regular people. We're not, Wall Street people raising hedge fund money. Okay, so what I'm saying and up here going, if you're going to get bigger than having 1 shop, 2 shop, 3 shops, normally people max out at 2 to 3 shops, and here's the reason why. Let's say you're going to open up a shop. On average, if you get a good lease, a good landlord, you don't have to buy the location, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be $200,000 cash into inventory. That's the low end, guys. Okay, think of the price of a pound. If you want to have that turn, that's how much you're going to have on your shelves. Okay? So if I took and went around to everybody, how much cash you have in your bank account that you got to go put into that inventory, and then you need to open up another location, and you need another $200,000 cash liquid, and then you want to open a third location. Let's say you can't get that next location. Now you need to buy the property because the bank won't finance you, right? The guy before me was great about saying, hey, banks don't want to touch this industry. So how do we get around that, and how do brands go bigger? Okay, we have some great extract companies here. We got some very big growers here, and they have their brand, and they're spending real marketing dollars so that you will identify with that brand. But if you open up a retail location, you're going to put a name on it, okay? Ours is Dank's Wonder Emporium. Our old name back in the middle of the days was Pacific Green. It was a real original name. We named it after the little city we opened up in. Guess what? There's a Pacific Green, I guarantee, in Canada. There's a Pacific Green in California, Pacific Green in Oregon, and other Pacific Greens in Washington. So we said, hey, there's going to be a massive legal battle over this name. So when we made the change from medical to recreational, we just changed and decided, hey, we want something we can actually brand and have everybody identify with, and there's not so much confusion. But you guys, if you open up your retail space, you're going to be choosing your own name too. Okay? So you're going to want to obviously change and not go with something so basic as we've all had for years and years and years on the medical side of green this, or I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but Star Buds. There's a Star Buds in every state. So what you want to do is we need to look bigger and more collaboratively in this industry, okay? We need to make partnerships. It's the only way we're going to keep growing and utilizing everything that we have. I'm going to give an example. In America, the United States, 26 states have medical marijuana where you can go in and you can have a retail location and all that kind of stuff. There's 9 now with recreational. Anybody 21 over can get it. Here's the difference. There is not one company that's in every state. So when we think about this, we're not even utilizing the opportunities that are already available that we have. Our industry is looking way too small and staying way too basic because people aren't collaborating together. So on that forefront, what do I see is what it's going to take to get there. I believe that big producer processors in Canada have massive opportunity of partnering with retailers down in the United States. Not shipping weed across the state, from the Canada to the U.S. That, I think, is a long, long time away from it. But you need to take your brands and partner in and go through the right legal process for getting your guys' brands into the United States. For example, there's like Cannabis Club back there. They want to open up in Edmonton. Well, you can already open those up in other states. So take that brand, partner up with people down there, and start opening up and wait for the laws to change up here. I'm not telling anybody here to move, but there are companies and people looking for opportunities that want to work with brands that people have already put together. Here's an example. If you guys opened up a shop, and I know that things are coming in 2018, and everybody has their viewpoint, you're going, hey, how do we get in early? The big thing that I like to come here, and I'm definitely going to give a time for Q&A, is what is different for you guys? Because we've already gone through it. 5 years ago, we got to open up a store, put a green cross out on the corner, people just came in. We were the worst marketers there ever was. We didn't want anyone to know where we were. We didn't want the cops to know where we were. We were like, man, are we all going to get arrested doing this? This is crazy. Put the sign up, and people started coming in, okay? That is going to work. 2018, if it gets legal and you guys get to have retail up here like it is, you just put up a sign. It's going to work. What I'm here saying is that you guys have a shorter period of time before real competition is going to really affect your business. Okay, what does that mean? For example, everybody probably knows Weed Maps or some other app or some other website that directs people to how to get things. It's a marketing company, right? Okay, you just put your thing on there, pay them a couple $100 a month, or maybe $1,000 a month, and just that's where all the traffic's coming. Okay. Well, now a lot of people are using Instagram, Periscope, Facebook Live. If anyone has their Instagram or their Facebook and it's been deleted, we've only been deleted 25 times off Instagram. I mean, we're just getting started. So there are companies that are down with our industry, and there are companies that aren't. What I want you guys to understand is that doing the standard tactics, like the yellow pages for regular businesses, they don't get to work as long when you have companies that are ahead of you. There are big brands that are at this expo, and they are spending money to pre-get people. They want to get those people for life. So what are you guys going to do? How much time are you going to have to market to them in the standard way? Okay? It's only a matter of time if one of you guys open up a retail chain to a bigger, more well-funded company is going to open up nearby. They go, hey, those guys are doing great. They got a great location. They got a lot of traffic coming by. We should open up there. Okay? Many of us see it all the time. It's like, hey, there's a McDonald's on this corner. Guess who opens up next door? Burger King. You know? Hey, there's a Starbucks. Hey, let's get, Tim Hortons. It doesn't matter what it is. This is going to become business as normal. Okay? I know that the previous guy before me, that we're a high-risk business. It's going to become very, very normal all across Canada. We are on the right side of history, and that's one of the reasons I love being up here talking, is because I know I'm going to be historically accurate. In my lifetime, marijuana is going to be 100% legal in Canada. Truly believe it in my bones, and I think anybody here watching is on the same side. There we go. So I know that it's going to also happen in the United States. We're just waiting on Texas. Texas is always slower. We just got it. They get leave, then it's all, we got Trump now. What are we going to do? So we have a lot of opportunity. As I said, the opportunities, we're not even fully utilizing them. And that's one of the things is I love being up here and loving meeting people and talking and saying, hey, how can we work together? What we don't want to do is, hey, I grow the best weed, and I don't need any help from you and that kind of stuff, and we're just going to sell direct, and we're going to ship. I don't think that helps our industry. I think we need to be collaborative. We need to be thinking outside the box, and that's really what's going to help our industry and each individual here who isn't a giant conglomerate move forward, okay? It's going to take out-of-the-box thinking. I don't sit here and read notes because I'm just talking to you guys as one person who's in this industry as a practitioner. When I'm not here, I'm going to be flying out at 5 o'clock and going right back to my retail store. We don't close till midnight, okay? There's patients and customers that need help, and they want to get a product, okay? That's what I'm all about. So I think you guys coming here to this expo, taking your time out, even sitting down and listening to me talk, or sitting there going, hey, I want to know more about this, and you are all going to be choosing on how are you going to navigate or want to be in this industry and this culture, okay? A lot of people want to get in, and a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do I get in? What do I do best? There are a lot of people who are great growers. If you guys want to know how to grow spider mites, come talk to me afterwards. I will tell you all about how to get good spider mites, get those bugs, have powdery mildew. I can do that shit, okay? I cannot grow good weed, okay? But I can be there for a customer or patient and talk to them about what is the dankest, best, terpiest oil or bud. That is me. Let's do this. I'll talk all day about it, okay? I love marijuana. So the big thing that I want to say is figure out what you guys are best at and stick to it, and then find partners for the other stuff, okay? If you maybe you come from the marketing side, maybe you come from the business side, team up with the right people, because it's going to take, the big grow companies, they're already hiring hundreds of people to go through the volume of demand. What a lot of people, and I don't know anyone here, you've already working in the industry, or you're in a warehouse, or you're doing your own personal grow, and maybe you have a couple thousand square feet. If you're doing that, you realize that you can't do it all by yourself, just the trimming alone, okay? And finding good people isn't just hard in this business, it's hard in any business. Any industry, finding good people is hard. So getting people tied in on the same trajectory, on the same path, with the same mission and vision, that's what it's all about. And that's what we're about. When we bring people in, we literally want them memorizing our vision and mission, which isn't about profits. We do a 100% guaranteed return policy. You don't like the weed you're smoking, stop smoking it. I tell that to every single customer that comes into my store. I don't care. I don't want you smoking on bad weed. I wouldn't want anybody smoking on bad weed. Stop smoking it, bring it back. We trade you on weight. Pick something else, okay? I'm not telling anybody here to do that if you guys get to open up a retail store or get a distribution and you're shipping it. That does not help the bottom line, people, okay? It sure doesn't. Trust me. People are going to bring it back. People are even going to put other weed in the same bag, and they're going to bring it back and try and pass it off. We take that hit, okay? Because I didn't get into this industry to make a bunch of money. A lot of us could go do something else. A lot of us come from other industries and stuff, and maybe it comes from a personal passion of why you got into this industry. I got into this industry because a very, very good friend of mine, his wife got stage 4 cancer. They were going homeless, okay? He goes, hey, man, I just need to get some lights so we can grow some of our own weed so she can get off these painkillers that are literally killing her. Said, hey, man, I don't got that much money, but I can help you out with some lights. And on down the road, and then all of a sudden I'm standing in a store helping other customers that have stage 4 cancer and dying. I've had probably hundreds of customers who have died through the years that we've been opened. That's an emotional process. You make a bond with somebody, it's hard to think about having that go away. It's also hard for me to think about how you guys use your system where you're just shipping it. It totally removes the personal aspect about what somebody needs and the plant and the benefit that this provides and stuff. I personally believe that the absolute best way for marijuana to be dispensed is through dispensaries, retail marijuana stores. Because guess what? If you can come in and see what you are getting, great, one picture of a nug and they're doing a couple 100,000 pounds, you don't know what yours is going to look like. Cool, they took a good Photoshop photo of one nug. So I believe you get to come in, smell it, have it in a jar, pick out your nug. I think that's how to do it. And anybody up here, I'm not telling you to call your legislator, start a petition. I don't do politics, okay? I'm just saying, hey, that's what I think it should be done. And if you guys agree with that, then that's how I think you should move towards legislation. Or move to where it is legal, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but the U.S. is always taking people. Come on down. I know Trump's scary, but come on down. So we have states that have recreational and medical marijuana. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that. I'm a big proponent that I don't like the recreational, okay? I'm glad that it's legal because we all want to decriminalize. We don't want to be walking out here, lighting up, and all of a sudden in trouble, okay? So my thing is, but medical is where my heart got into it, and it's hard to walk away from that. I was helping medical patients day in, day out, improving their lives with no side effects, seeing them. I had patients that started walking again, many things that are just mind-numbing to think that this plant did X for somebody, okay? Whether they had Crohn's disease or cancer and those kind of things. So going from the medical and having it just locked off and said, okay, now anyone 21 plus and hey, you're just wanting to have fun, and everyone just wants to be stoned and those kind of things, it's difficult. But I think most people out here, when they vote, are saying, hey, we want it decriminalized. That's every time we said, and it literally most people vote and say, I don't care how much tax you put on it. You want 15%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Washington State had 105% tax to get it legalized, and that's what we did. We said, we don't care, we just don't want it. No one wants to be arrested if you're over 21 and smoking marijuana. And guess what? Then the union, and I want everyone to realize this, I was a part of the system too. The lobbyists, after we got recreational, came in, they spent a bunch of money and changed the law. Less than 2 years later, and destroyed medical. Okay? So if you guys vote and the things that go down the thing, that's probably going to happen. Be very careful of what you guys actually vote for. I know that decriminalization is very sexy, okay? But when you put a for-profit entity in, they are going to have money to spend to make things better for themselves. We all know that on anything, right? There's the tobacco lobby. There's the, anything. There's probably the fast food lobbyists. We want to get cheaper fast food, have it more MGOs, whatever. They just work on it. And so the big thing is I believe that this industry works better with more small people in the game. Okay, I'm going to talk from a real-life example. New York and Hawaii, if anyone's ever traveled to Hawaii, got to get all this cold and the snow up here. Hawaii decided to go, hey, we're going to do medical. But we're only going to give out 8 licenses. Okay? There's 8 islands. We're giving out 8 licenses, 1 license per island. You need to show $1.2 million cash in your bank account to just apply. Guess what? The application fee is $75,000. Come on down, okay? And then they hold a lottery, okay? I don't think anybody here would say, that sounds like a good system. That's going to get the best products to the most people at the most affordable prices. No, it's creating monopolies. Washington State has created monopolies as well at the retail level. So we're only allowed to have 3 retail chains per brand, per single owner. Other states haven't done that. So what I'm just saying is, I want you guys educated about is, hey, this stuff's already happened. People have already been writing the laws, and they've been making a lot of mistakes. What is going to happen for you guys coming up in 2018? I think you guys have a very good opportunity to be on the forefront, to be talking to politicians. They put out calls all the time and say, hey, we want to talk to people in the industry. You guys need to stand up. You guys need to say, hey, I want my voice heard. I've studied it, I've been in it. There are people out here that are much older than me. You guys have more knowledge, more experience of what goes on up here. You need to give that to the politicians. A lot of these politicians, they don't even know what the plant looks like, let alone smells like, or what it does, okay? They want to hear from you and know your personal experience, and you guys got to be vocal. So getting back to what it would take for each and every individual person here to realize their dream of working in the industry, okay? I am going to open it up to questions at the end, and you guys, I will dig deep, and I will answer any kind of questions people want. If you guys want to know, hey, how much concentrates compared to dry flower should be on my shelves? Should I carry more sativas than indicas? Anything of that. What's the grow rate? What's a pusher? What happens when I do? I'm more than happy to dive in. Let's get very, very detailed. I just want to deliver as much value to you guys because I just came up here because I want you guys getting something from this talk, okay? So I can't sell any weed up here. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm opening up a store next door, please come on down. I don't write books, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I got nothing to sell you at the end of it. So the big thing that what I want you guys to do is get value on realizing what you want your marijuana industry to look like and what you specifically, if you want to work in the industry, what are you going to do in it, okay? So I love the retail game. I believe that retail is going to be all across the United States and Canada. I believe in the long term, we will be working inter-country. There's already companies figuring that out, doing brands and purchases, as I mentioned before. And I believe that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to open up, and I'm not trying to be rude, that are going to shut down and lose a lot of stuff, okay? I know people that opened up medical marijuana collector shops and lost their life savings. Nobody wants to talk about that. It's the green rush. Everyone's getting rich. It's everyone's having a great time. No, a lot of people are doing a lot of hard work, and it is not working out, okay? I'm going to be honest, guys. We open up shops because I'll open up a shop because I think if my company and the way we do things is providing better prices, better weed to more people, I think that's helping people, okay? The problem is that might put somebody else out of business. I'm not going to lie. 6 to 10 collectives, retail dispensaries offering out, in my opinion, not good weed to people and screwing people on price, shut down after we open up next to them, okay? In the United States, that's just standard competition, and it's standard competition in this. So I sit up here saying, hey, my goal is I love my customers and patients. I love them almost even more as I love the product. And I think anybody getting into retail, you got to be really, really careful. Do you love weed? Do you love growing weed? Or do you love customers? Because you are switching from going from one end of it to the other, okay? Producer processors have a really hard road, okay? I love producer processors. I have a channel where I literally sit down and interview them multiple times a week talking about their brands, their products. What are you guys doing? What difficulties are you seeing? Okay, so I get it. In our store, we have 350 different strains on the shelf right now, okay? That's not including concentrates. That's not pre-rolls. That's just dry flower from 100 different brands, okay? So when you are coming up with your brand, what are you going to do to stand out? Because you are not trying to sell to me as the retailer and be like, man, I got that sale, got $2,000, sold a pound, or whatever the price of the pound is up here. Woo! Moving on to the next one. It does not matter if I buy it. That is not a win. If it doesn't go to that customer, I don't reorder, and it just sits there. And then you guys have your electricity bills. You have your rents. You have your payroll that you got to meet, and you got to do that turn. That's part of this business, which nobody normally stands up here and talks about, is the fact that there are real bills, real expenses to growing a plant. Whether you're doing it outside or inside. I would assume most great stuff up here is grown inside, but not a lot of those great greenhouses. So you guys are growing, I believe, probably some of the dankiest, stickiest, awesome bud there is, because you're doing it right and you're doing it inside. A lot of great new lights and new technology coming out. But the thing is you have a particular amount of expenses. On the medical side, normally the demand is way bigger than the supply. So you guys are living what we did multiple years ago. Just come bring it. As much as you can grow, come drop it off. Come ship it. Come do whatever, okay? That doesn't last. Once it goes legal, it takes a while, okay? It's not the first year. It's not the second. It's normally the third, fourth, fifth year, and then everybody has been able to get licensed. They've been able to get their giant grows up. Outside financing comes in from hedge funds or dark money. Okay, let's not be honest, guys. Most of the loans, the guy talked real good about, and I don't want to step on his toes, talked real good about the banks won't do this and that. You can go get financing. You'll find it. They'll do it for 3 years, maybe a year. If you find 5 years, grab it. Seriously, if you get 5-year financing in this industry, grab it all day long because everyone wants to do super short. They want to do high fees, and they want to keep hitting you with fees every time. So you're paying somewhere between 18 to 28%, okay? There are people who say, hey, you need a warehouse. We'll buy you the warehouse. You just go find it. Now, we own it. Your name's not on it. So you're not paying a mortgage and own it. You're paying a very, very high lease forever. And, do all the build out. We're not going to build it out for you. So now you've just done all these improvements. You brought in all this power to be able to grow a bunch of plants. It's their building, okay? So that's what I talk about where I'm saying partnerships and how is the little guy going to make it in this, okay? I'm just going to be honest. I don't see a lot of millionaires that come to when I talk. They don't want to hear me speak. They'll figure it out themselves. They got attorneys. They got accountants. They'll figure it out. So, but I think for us, the normal person who loves marijuana and wants to be in this industry and wants to make our mark on what we think the consumer, the patient needs, is what I think really will go the long term, okay? So if you sit there and think, what is it that you guys really want? Okay, what is it that you really love about marijuana? I get what? I bet a lot of the people in this room also agree with you, okay? It's not rocket science that I'm sitting up here and being like, hey, guys, I got this college education in marijuana. Let me tell it to you. The thing that you want to do is just drive it home and get very clear about you. I've said this multiple times, is if you're all about shitty weed, open up your shitty weed shop. Grow your shitty weed. Just sell it real cheap and do your branding as shitty weed. Like, come get shitty weed. And guess what? If you're delivering on that brand promise, no one's going to be mad at you. Oh, man, dude, I went down and got some shitty weed. Sweet. Like, And people will buy it. The one thing that no one ever wants to agree with, the market for cheap marijuana is insane, okay? Like we have, I don't know what the standard price is up here, I'll be honest. I didn't download the apps and I didn't do that. But we have ounces testing 25% THC, $50 with retail tax, okay? I don't know if that's cheap or expensive up here. $50 out the door, and that's with 37% sin tax, 10% sales tax included in that price. Okay? It's crazy cheap. And so that's what I want people to get is that, guys, the information's out there. It's literally public on our website. You guys can look it up. The thing is that's what's going to happen to this industry as things go on. Okay? There are companies down in the States that are literally suffering from their own success. They came in, they did a great edible company. Everybody's buying their edibles. They're selling $500,000 in edibles a month, wholesale. Woo! This is great. And then guess what? They kept that price point as everyone else came in and all the competition came in, and everybody got an inferior product for too high of a price. Now, no one likes that brand. The brand is basically dead. No one will buy it no matter what the price is because they remember, as a consumer or patient, being screwed. Okay? So if you guys are here and you're early, you're all looking at how are we going to do and what are we going to do getting into this industry, be very, very careful to saying, hey, well, this is the retail price. I'll charge what is a fair market value. Get the most out of what you can. Because long term, guys, everybody here, if you're sitting here today, you're not thinking you want to be in this for 12 months. Man, let me just get some quick money. A lot of investors are looking for quick money. But people that actually come to these conferences, they're looking at it as a lifestyle. You want to be in this. You want to make your mark. You want to have this be your legacy. And so that's what I really try and talk to producer processors and why. And I'm more than happy during this talk. If a lot of people are out there and they're looking at the grow side, I sit and I do talks where it's, hey, how do you sell to a retailer? I know that that's not really relevant to you guys today because you guys don't have that. But I'm sure in a couple years I'll be coming back here and I'll probably be doing that. Hey, when you come in, don't tell people 60-40. Just feel screwed. I keep 60, you keep 40. How do you feel? Feel good? You feel like you're getting screwed? Kind of stuff. Why do I want to be your friend? And so that's the big thing is I just want to give everybody that understanding of, hey, it's business as usual. I believe our industry will move much, much faster forward if we take the dark veil off. It's one of the reasons why I'm on film. I don't care. I've been doing this for years. I don't have to take a drug test. It feels great. You know what I mean? Worst I get's when I come in through the border. And the TSA people are like, what are you doing here? Weed. Oh, weed guy just going through. I don't want to deal with you. So anyways, guys, the big thing is I want you guys to have a chance to answer questions. I want to make this very, very specific into what your questions are, where you find issues in the industry, and on down the road. I'm more than happy to keep talking about where retail is going and how Canada, especially Canada, has a massive advantage of teaming up in the States. I'll give an example. Let's say you guys are making edibles, okay? A lot of people even just like making them at home. Let's say like a lotion company in the back that everyone probably saw when they walked in. That lotion brand isn't in the United States. What's it going to cost them time-wise to get that into all 50 states or all the provinces up here? A lot. I bet they don't got boots on the ground. They don't have people. The payroll to do that and roll that out is massive, okay? And in the United States, we have laws, and I guarantee you guys are going to write laws also that say, hey, you got to be Canadian. You don't get to come in here and just start doing your stuff. This is marijuana. We're going to tightly regulate it. We're going to make sure we know where every dollar is coming from. We're going to make sure every seed, plant, stem, stick, everything, we're going to track it all. And we're going to track those numbers forever. So how do we do this moving forward? How are you going to expand and work through that? It's partnerships, guys. It's saying, hey, who down there wants my brand? Who down there wants my product? I've already been making a great thing. Can I show them? Can I teach them how to do it? And we work collaboratively together. That's how, without doing normal hedge fund money, this industry and individuals like in here are going to grow. It's a fact. Because at some point, even if you guys get, and I don't know if they call them this, HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, and you pull out $500,000 in loan, maybe even go 120% on your house, get as much liquid capital as you can. Don't say it's for marijuana. Say you're doing a bathroom remodel, do whatever. Get that cash and then invest it, right? That's what a lot of people do down there. Hey, I got this cash. That only gets you so far, okay? No one in here is going, you know what I want to do? I want to get a pizza shop. Just going to get one pizza shop. I'm going to sell the best pizzas. Everyone's going to come to my pizza shop. And, 4 generations from now, still going to be one pizza shop selling my good pizzas. My great-great-grandkids will be doing the pizzas. It's going to be great. No, because we all know that, Papa Murphy's, Domino's, all these big companies are going to come in. They're going to cut the margins so thin that you can't compete. And then your one location goes out of business. And that's really what I'm up here talking about, guys, is, hey, I've seen people get hurt putting everything in on this business and it not working out. I've even seen investors get into this industry, team up with the wrong people. Someone promises they're a master grower. Man, I bet there's a lot of master growers around here that grow the dankiest stuff. Trust me, man, I've grown like a couple plants in my closet. I got this. Don't worry, we'll do 10,000 square feet. Not a problem. So the big thing is to understand that big companies are going to consolidate, and they're going to come through. And they're going to determine if you have 1 location, 2 locations, is it worth them to buy you, or is it just worth them to move in next to you and put you out of business? So, guys, if you have questions, feel free, jump on up. There is a mic there. I'm not telling anybody to jump on up right now and that kind of stuff, but at the end, I'm definitely going to leave time for that, and then unfortunately, I really got to go actually catch a plane because there's one plane of light leaving out of here. So, how many people in here, let me ask a question. How many people in here are interested in retail marijuana and see that coming to Canada? Guess what, guys? That's everybody, okay? We all kind of agree. That's what we want and that's what we think. How many people here, I know that, I call them collectives. You guys may call them dispensaries. You may call them collective gardens, medical co-ops, whatever your guys' term is it. How many people in here, has anyone worked in one, been a patient at one, where you guys have walked in and gone to pick up? Okay, quite a few of you. I know that there is one down the road. I didn't get a chance to go visit it. I really wanted to, but I didn't have my med card for Canada, and I wouldn't know if they'd let me in. But the big thing is, guys, if this is the industry you want to work in, one, I'm going to say get in, okay? If you're not already in it, get in. If you're growing at your home and you're saying, hey, maybe I don't like being a flight attendant. I don't like working down at the drugstore. This is a growing industry, and it's going to be hiring a lot of people in the near future. There is going to be so many job postings for that. But the big thing that I would say is educate yourself on what you're going to specialize in. If you're going to grow, don't start thinking about growing and how you're going to grow in a box. You got to realize that, and you guys already have them, giant warehouse growing. That's what you should be studying. If you're going to be doing retail, be studying marketing, okay? Because that's what it all comes down to. Retail is one of the most competitive landscapes, okay? I think, in my opinion, the only more competitive landscape is literally for producer-processors now, their brands on the shelf. Because what everybody down in the States is now facing is that the products that used to they get to put in a jar and sell to you, hey, man, I got OG Kush. Well, who grew it? What brand? Whatever. It's not like that anymore. It's now OG Kush by Evergreen Northwest, by Fat Panda, by Dab Stars, by, Hemplar, Hemp Kings, all these different brands. And so people are going to choose that brand who then connects with people, okay? And are you going to do that? Are you going to do that digitally? Are you going to do that the old way? What are you going to do? What's working, what's not working, but realizing that that is going to make the big difference for not just retailers, but for producer-processors. And that's the big thing that I want people to realize going forward is that's what they're going to need, okay? I know it's a sober wake room call when we come from a company or an industry that didn't have to do any marketing. If you had it, they found you, right? The friends, dude, this guy's got the good stuff. Like, call him, text him, get the good stuff, okay? You don't get to grow the best weed. Don't go to a retailer and say, man, I got the best stuff. They hear that all day, every day from everybody, okay? The market decides who has the best stuff, okay? The retailer, me, sitting there buying stuff, I don't decide, man, I can think this. Oh, dude, people are going to love this. I love it. Guess what? Next 100 people walk in the door, I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot. I bought a bunch of stuff that I was like, man, this is the next great thing. Dab juice. I guarantee you'll come here too. Hey, we're going to take THC. We're going to put it in e-juice or VG, PG. It's going to be huge. We're going to sell a little bottle so there's no cartridge failures. Everyone's going to want it. Stuff's going to fly off the shelves. Nope, no one wanted it. Those things happen, okay? And I know you guys have seen the next great product is always coming to our industry. It's going, hey, we're going to go, the clear. And everybody wanted the clear, okay? It's fractional distillation, no terpenes, super gold looking. It's phenomenal. It's 99.9% pure THC. It doesn't get any better. And no one wants it because guess what? There's no terpenes. Okay, people want that flavor. So then people will still want the BHO, the PHO, the CO2. And you're going, man, just put all this time and energy into the clear, and no one wants it. And now the price keeps dropping and keeps dropping and keeps dropping. And now you're getting that 99.9% clear stuff, $5 on the gram. That's real, okay? There are huge extractors, and there are going to be huge extractors up here too that are going to drive that price point down. So when you guys are talking to, and I didn't see them at this expo, but trust me, if you go to the next one, they'll be there, closed loop systems, and you're going, man, maybe I want to get in on the extract side of things. Maybe I want to be an extractor. These extraction companies, they're so cool. They got the good-looking girls at their booths. That's what I want to do with my life. You go, wait a second, okay? You don't get to do the price per gram today. You're doing this long-term, you're making that investment long-term. You don't buy a car and go, oh, this $20,000 car, I'm just going to drive it for 12 months, and I'll just junk it on the side of the road and buy a new one. Just scratch it all off. But you guys need to do the math on what is it going to be long-term, and it's hard to fathom what it's going to be up here, and that's why I'm here. You can look at the United States. You can see what is happening. You guys get to be on a better side of history. We are on the cutting edge. I buy a product today, I put it on my shelf at a price, 3 months later, that's now the highest price thing. That was the best deal. No one wants it because there's so much better, new, fresher stuff at a lower price. That's happening. That happens in retail all the time. That's why no one here wants to be in the tech industry. Computers keep getting cheaper. There's no margins. And so I just want to say, hey, wake up, guys. This is actually happening. I know my message isn't like, we're all going to be together. We're going to make so much money in this green industry. I do believe that it's legislation, and we're going in the right direction, and we're all on the right side of history, okay? That's why I'm in it. I love being in this industry. I love the people in this industry. I met some of the best people in this industry. I've also met some of the worst. But that's just like anything and stuff. And so I believe if we work collaboratively together, that we can have big brands that actually represent something because we are at the forefront. We don't have to have our weed be like a McDonald's hamburger. We can have great products, great brands that stand for something, that are eco-friendly, that make a difference, that pay their employees right, okay? I truly believe that. And so it's all about what do you guys want your company to be, and what are you guys going to do to have that be long-term? And so that's basically what I'm up here. It's not rocket science. I just come up here to give you guys some perspective of what's going on from the United States, saying, hey, it's been bumpy. I had to close down 4 shops that were helping 15,000 customers a month, 15,000 medical patients. I didn't sell to anybody. I didn't sell to anyone just 21 plus. You had to have a medical card and it better be authorized, okay? I'm here for the patients. And the state said, nope, you're done. Close them all in one day. Trust me, they'll have the cops there waiting with their big guns. We're in America. They come with the real guns. So that happened, okay? And you guys are going to have to go through the legislation. I hope it goes way better up here. I really do. I think you guys have a much better advantage of seeing the mistakes we've made, and I really hope it goes better. But be just ready for some bumps. It comes in this industry. There are producer-processors that all of a sudden are sitting on a bunch of weight they can't sell. Happened in Oregon. Everything's going fine. Everyone's got recreational. You can sell medical to anyone 21 plus. They changed it for 18 months. And then the state didn't get off its ass and actually license anybody. Well, they didn't change the date on the licensing. January 1st came, and guess what? You got 20 pounds? No one's buying. How much money did you put in to make that 20 pounds? Quite a few $1,000s in electricity. Got a lease that doesn't end on that day. Somehow your lease didn't match up with what the government wanted. So I just want to say, guys, stay not heavy leveraged, okay? It's very easy when things are going good to say, hey, just go for it. It's all gravy, okay? And so that's the big thing is I feel if more people work together, we're going to get better results. We're going to get better weed. We're going to get a better industry that cares about more people and more people getting better product. So with that, guys, I am keeping this a little bit shorter just because I want to give so much time for Q&A because this is Canada, and I'm coming from a different country, let alone state, saying, hey, this is what's going on down here. We got a lot of people in different states that are just coming online. Boston, Massachusetts, maybe you've heard of it. They win a lot of Super Bowls. They're coming online recreational, so a lot of people have the same questions that you guys do is, hey, what is coming down the line? and that kind of stuff. So any questions, guys, feel free to grab the mic or just raise your hand and shout them out. It's totally chill. I put everybody to sleep. I love this. I answered all questions. Go for it, man.
Hi, how's it going, man?
What's your name?
My name's Desmond. How you doing?
Hey, Desmond. Doing good.
Oh, good. So just have a quick question for you. As someone from the States, this is I just got to come clean. I'm more of an investor kind of guy.
Sweet.
And I'm just wondering, which of the major Canadian companies are you most excited about, I guess, from an investment perspective, say? Would it be Canopy, Aurora, Afria, just long term, of course?
Yeah. So here's my perspective on that. Since many of those companies are already public and you can literally buy their stock.
I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is great. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Like all investments, and I have to, not an attorney, I'm not a financial advisor. Do I think you buy their stock, you're going to be well better off in 10 years? Absolutely. I think you're getting in at a golden era where when things are governing, even if a company like that, here's an example. This is happening in the States. I'm going to make this very, very specific for you, understanding why to invest in those companies. They are licensed, okay? They aren't just handing those out to anybody at all times, and there's somebody just stamping those things, okay? You want to open up a coffee shop, boom, you got a coffee shop, okay? So think about that. In the States, here's an example. We put a cap on how many producer-processors it could be. Colorado didn't. Guess what? The price of weed plummets, and everyone bitches, and the state literally comes and goes, okay, now we're going to put a cap on this. That means everybody who has a license, regardless if they don't make money, always has an intrinsic value. In Washington State, someone who literally applied with $250 is selling those, not putting any work into them, for $250,000. Okay? You can look that also up online. That's going right now. You can buy one if you want. The dude has done nothing. You're not getting anything else but the license. And so I think all those companies investing, if you're just looking and saying, hey, I kind of want to put my foot in this industry, or I'm just looking at it as an investment, I think they're a great, great investment. Just look at the long term, because those will even consolidate. Some of those aren't going to make it, but they will be, their assets and all that stuff and their brands are going to get bought up. Example, as I mentioned, Chalice, giant producer processor. 4 retail locations in Oregon just got bought for $35 million. They are the one that everyone talked about. Someday, Starbucks is going to enter the weed industry and buy up the brands and that kind of stuff. That's the first one that's happened. So everybody who was in early on that, obviously doing very, very well. And so the thing is I would say look at the company, and I would say agree with their vision, mission, and the brands. If you're not a smoker, I can't really help you. Smoke their products. See who's got the best stuff.
That won't be a problem.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I would smoke. I'd choose who's got. Dude, I don't invest in Apple because I don't use iPhone. But I love Google. So that's how I would do it. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I just hope you guys have a great expo. And go Oilers. Yeah, man.
How long did it take? Like, the prices you say are $50 now for an ounce right out the door.
Yeah.
What were they in the beginning? How long did it take for that to like?
We had. So in 2000, it took less than 2 years to go from a $20 gram to a $50 ounce out the door with tax. Yeah, and so it is changing vastly. And the one reason why you see also those prices, some people are sustained at those prices, but massive farms invested, and then they couldn't keep paying the bills, and so they got to sell everything off. And so that's the other thing is if you have all these people in the invest, you're going to have a time period where people are doing clearing house sales and that kind of stuff. But that is literally somebody who's like, no, they turn a profit at that and stuff. Yeah, and that's the thing is you were talking just massively large growth. And the other thing is I know Edmonton, I didn't get into that, is very much going to be indoor long term. But if you're looking to compete in this country when it goes totally legal, greenhouse is the only way to do it. I know it's worse, but the general consumer, the general smoker, hey dude, I drink Bud Light. You know what I mean? I'm not drinking the top. If you guys want to grow that, then you have to stay smaller on your grows because of the turn. You'd have to have it so dispersed. So yeah.